Hi, I'm Amber from Amber's Craft Week blog, and welcome back to the Heyday Challenge, where we go through the book Heyday and do various activities relating to some of the pages. So for the March 15th entry, we have Darth Vader asks, "Have you been keeping up your future files?" Grab a new record jacket, bright red folder or shoebox. Right across the top, around the sides, anywhere you can write, "The coolest jobs ever." And don't just look for the obvious when thinking about future potential career moves. Say you look through a catalog and see adorable models vamping it up on some way-old college campus. Model is an obvious choice, but instead think stylist extraordinaire, or copywriter, or a location scout, or catalog mogul. You can run the show. Question the fun but otherwise overlooked parts of your life. Who decided to call this particular color of red lipstick vamp? Product consultant and or in-house creative designer. Who came up with the Rubik's Cube? Inventor. Who comes up with the new flavors at Baskin-Robbins? Chef. Who picks the movies that show at your local Cineplex? Movie distributor. And even if you know you want to be a doctor because your mom was a doctor and your grandma was a doctor and medicine and science is without a doubt the most fascinating Rice Krispie of life, do you know what kind of doctor you want to be? Look for clues while you read about anything and everything. Cut out words and pictures that make you think about the job behind the product and shove them in your future file. You will indeed thank us later. So as someone who will be hopefully graduating with my PhD here in the near future, this seemed like a pertinent entry. I went ahead already and made a list of cool jobs off screen. I only wrote coolest jobs, so I've forgotten the specific label they gave for the top of the page. And so I put my dream job in the middle in big glittery green letters, so fiction writer. As some of you may or may not know, in my free time I like to write horror fiction. In particular, I write other types of fiction too, some sci-fi, fantasy type stuff, some romance, but horror is really my favorite genre. And yeah, if I could do any job in the world, I would just write. That's kind of my dream job, but I also have some other jobs that I like on here. So, and these aren't in any particular order, other than fiction writer, like that's the big one, the dream one. The rest of these are just kind of other things I'd be interested in doing. So I have over here physics lecturer, which is kind of like what I do currently. So I am a physics instructor, teaching assistant at the University of Maine. I just finished up, so spoiler alert, this video is not actually being filmed in March, but I just finished up teaching the first semester of the intro physics for pre-med, pre-vet students, and I love my job in a lot of ways. You know, I love the teaching, I love working with college students. My students are just so fantastic, and if I could do that and not also be a graduate student at the same time, because the problem with being a graduate student is you have all kinds of other responsibilities that go with it. So you have to be conducting your own research and writing your dissertation, and sometimes you're also taking classes. I'm lucky that I'm not doing classes anymore, but it's a lot of responsibility, so you can't give your students your all in some ways. Like, you can still be a good instructor and be there for them as much as you can be, but you don't get to give 100%. And I don't want to do the tenure track. First of all, there aren't a lot of tenure track jobs anymore anyway, but I really like the teaching side of things. I'm not so much into the research. Like, it's fine, but I really prefer to do things that I feel like I have a more direct impact on. You know, when you're teaching, I can see my students' progress, and when someone tells me that I made a difference, that I really helped them, you know, I really feel like my work has value and meaning, and so yeah, I think if I could be a physics lecturer, that would be a pretty cool job. I also have math lecturer, so I have a Master's of Arts from the University of Maine in mathematics, and I TA'd Calc 1 for a number of semesters, and I like that as well. So basically the same job, just different subject, but those are a couple cool ones. Craft blogger, I mean, I run a craft blog, which hopefully you've seen at this point. If not, it's amberscraftweek.blogspot.com, which I'll link to below. But that would be a pretty cool job. And then the last two, I was kind of like racking my brain, like, well, I want to have 6 different things so I can use all my different rainbow pens. So I was like, Well, columnist. I used to write for a little publication called The Radical Notion. I wasn't paid for it, but it's like, well, if I do that in my free time, it might be worth putting on here as a potential occupation. And then advice columnist, and this just was, I had a Dear Prudence podcast open, and I was like, you know, I could do that. I think I have good advice, so yeah, those are my coolest jobs that I could think of at the moment. So thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what jobs you would like to have in the future. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd love it if you'd give it a like. If you want to see more videos in the Heyday series, then you may want to subscribe. And if you just like crafts, then you can hop on over to my craft blog, amorscraftweek.blogspot.com. And have a great day.